Well, that was a tough one. Just doing 3.5 miles. Did 7 this morning doing the LAS, where you walk a quarter mile, run 1.75 miles. So basically just do, 400 every 2 miles. And so today I've actually done over 10 miles, and, almost 9 of it was running. My running slow, but that last 3.5 that I just did right now is pretty rough. Gorgeous, great weather here in Central California, Bakersfield. It's in the 60s. So it's kind of nice. This morning it was in the 30s. So we're having these 30-degree temperature swings. It was interesting talking how I walked by. In fact, I went by the Iron Maiden flag again just now. And, I had a record store for almost 20 years. And it was interesting during that whole PMRC Congress, worried about music like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. So it's always entertaining. In fact, the parental advisory logo, we used that as our logo for our store. And we used to say it was parental advisory, warning parents not to come in the store. So it was pretty entertaining. Got that done with my hard day. Try and do a hard day every 3 or 4 days is my schedule. Do 2 hard days a week at most. I think a lot of people should really get to that point where they do that. I think people go too hard too often, as I often say. Some terrible news I just saw on the Twitter today that Doug Souls, who's the coach of the Great Oak team that's gone on and won like 14 combined state titles, some NXN titles, he is leaving the team at the end of the cross-country season, which of course now is in March, along with his assistant coach. He has been going at it for a long time. There's all sorts of rumors about stuff, and it's kind of, they're talking about that on Bill Maher, this whole cancel culture, it's one strike and you're done. And they're saying, part of it's we're to blame as society came up with this zero tolerance policy, especially in the schools. And so now, you call someone a name or you punch somebody in the 3rd grade, you get expelled from school, or you bring like a pocket knife to school, and it's this whole one strike and you're out. I'm sure it'll come out what's going on. He says, he definitely wants to just leave California, which is definitely a topic I hear from lots of people. I know Joe Rogan, who I listen to a lot, has left California for Austin. All the BS. Adam Carolla talks about it often too. And it's funny, Bill Maher was talking about it the other night on his show, and that's where they were talking about the whole zero tolerance type of thing. But he was like, he's been trying to get solar power at his house, and it's been over 1,000 days, and he still hasn't turned it on because of all the rules and regulations and BS and all that stuff. So speaking of rules and regulations, though, I just went through Beach Park and Yonkers Park. Tons of parties out there. No one following any rules. No one following anything. So, I don't know why. We might as well just open up the damn schools. In fact, they were talking about that on Carolla's show with Mark Garagos and how they just need to open up the schools and get going. I know the CDC just got kind of in trouble saying that they could open up schools before all the teachers get vaccinated, kids get vaccinated. These kids have been out of school for a year. They need to get to school. It's just something you've got to get back to normal life as much as possible. So, as always, stay healthy, be boring, not epic.